Train smart, get results, 5 simple steps. So whether you're driving or maybe working out, consider just listening. I'm just going to share with you the most direct way to train smart, get results. I'm going to give you 5 simple steps. But if you do have access to pen and paper, consider grabbing that. And then because I'm going to ask you to write some stuff down, some goals for yourself so you can internalize it and really take your goals to the next levels by memorizing it, internalizing it. So if you do have access to pen and paper, consider grabbing it. But if you don't, then just listen. I'm going to share with you the best way possible. All right, good. Volume check. So first things first, to train smart and get results is to have clear, specific goals. So if we could wave a realistic magic wand and you could have your goals, your health, your energy, any kind of way you want it to be, say between now and say a year from now, what would that look like for you? Think about it. Get clear and specific. Dial it in. Have a kind of a fun dreaming about it, thinking about it. What does that look like? What does that feel like? Then narrow it down. Consider narrowing it down to a specific body weight and a specific body fat percent. Now, with that in mind, if you're not sure about body fat percents, consider going online to Google or something like that and do an image search for men's and women's body fat percentages. Look for this. They'll usually have a scale. On the left-hand side will be the leanest. To the right will be the heaviest. Find out kind of where you're at and then get an idea, kind of a goal for where it is you want to go. Jay's in the house. All right. Nice. Good to see you, brother. Got your workouts all set up. I got a new workout I'm working on. So it's did it last week for the first time. Going to do it 3 more weeks. Looking forward to hitting it tomorrow. What are you got your workouts all laid out for the week? Now, the 5 simple steps are exercise, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, and mindset. Now, let's take a look at training. Ideally, I encourage you to have a blend of 50%, about a blend of cardiovascular and strength training exercise. Imagine that we have a twin-engine airplane and we're flying along, and one engine is cardio and one engine is strength training. Now we're flying along, both engines are going strong. That's what we want, that both engines going strong. Cardiovascular engine and strength training engine. That's the best situation for you to have, is that situation. Now, what would happen if we lost an engine? Well, it wouldn't be as efficient. Be like just doing weights and not cardio, or doing cardio and not weights. But ideally, have a combination of strength training in your exercise routine and cardiovascular routines into your system, into your routine. All right, now, when building out a strength training program, I feel there are 5 basic fundamentals to consider. Proper form, variety, intensity, proper training principles, and consistency. Now let's break them down. Let's look at proper training. Why would it be so important to have proper training or proper form in a training program? Why is that so important? Well, there's 2 big reasons. One is so that we don't get hurt, and then 2 is so that we exercise the muscles effectively. That's proper form. Now let's look at variety. Why would variety be important in an exercise program? Why not just do the same thing over and over and over again? Well, there's a couple different reasons. One is have you ever heard of a plateau? A plateau is basically where you get stuck at a certain level and then you just hard to get over that next level. So if you do the same workouts, the same exercises, the same rep schemes, the same, tempo of the movement over and over and over again over time, I feel a lot of people, that's how they plateau. So what do we need to do? Mix it up. How do we mix it up? You change the way you group your whole exercise routine around. That's one way. Another way is we can change the exercises that we use, mixing those in and out. Another way is to change the rep range, either a low range to a high range, like 5 to 10 or 20 to 30. Then you can also change the tempo, the speed of the movement, right? So whether you can go sometimes 3 seconds on the way down, 1 second at the bottom pause, 2 seconds on the way up. Or it could be 5 seconds on the way down, 2 seconds at the bottom, explosive up. I mean, there's just a lot of ways to do it. So that's the different ways. Consider having variety into your routine. So we talked about variety. Now proper form, we looked at variety. Now let's look at intensity. What comes to mind when you think about exercising with intensity? What comes to mind? Challenging yourself, pushing yourself, overloading the muscle, right? So imagine for a second we're doing chest presses and we're going for 10 repetitions. We get to 7, 8, 9. We barely get number 10. But we got number 10. What's the most beneficial part of that set? The first few reps or the last few reps? Well, be the last few reps. And why is that? That's where the overload occurs. That's where the breakdown occurs. Right? So intensity. So proper form, variety, intensity. Now let's look at proper training principles. There's all sorts of different training principles to consider. Things like compound sets, supersets, drop sets, rest pause training, circuit training. There's bunches of them, right? So just consider sprinkling them in throughout the routine over time. And then last but not least is consistency. We talked about proper form, variety, intensity. We're talking about proper form, variety, intensity, proper training principles, and then consistency. So why would consistency be so important in an exercise program? Well, think about it. Imagine for a moment that we have you and say you have a twin of you, and you're going for the same fitness goals. And we're going to meet back here in 1 year to see how it's going, right? So you start off really good. You eat healthy. You exercise healthy. You get all your workouts in. You get your rest in. The other person starts off that way, but then misses a workout here and there, skips a workout meal here and there, doesn't always get the good night's sleep. At the end of the year, who is going to have the best results? The consistent version of yourself, of course. The consistency. So consider the power of consistency when it comes to your health and fitness program to train smart and to get results. All right. So we looked at training. Now let's look at nutrition. Imagine for a moment that we want to build a 2-story house from scratch. And imagine that we only have half the materials necessary to build the house. How far are we going to get? About halfway, right? So the foods that you and I eat on a daily basis, are like the supplies that goes towards building our bodies, like the supplies that are necessary towards going to build the house. So I encourage you to consider bringing in good nutritional supplies. Like, what do I recommend? I encourage you to consider about 50% of your diet to be from fruits and vegetables, and the 25% to come from whole grains, and another 25% from plant-based proteins like legumes, lentils, nuts, and seeds. When it comes to nutrition, I feel there are basically 4 different ways that it affects our bodies. It affects our metabolism, our energy levels, our insulin levels, and our blood sugar levels. Now imagine for a moment that we have a fireplace and we want to build a beautiful fire in the fireplace. On one hand, we have a stack of oak wood, and on the other hand, we have a stack of paper. And not including kindling and getting the fire started, but if you had to choose between the oak wood or the paper to burn in your fireplace, which one would you pick and why? Well, most of us would pick the oak wood, and the reason why is because it's going to burn longer, slower, more efficiently. Unlike paper, it's going to burn less efficiently, very quick and inefficiently. So some foods burn more like the oak wood, like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes, lentils, nuts, and seeds. And some foods burn more like the paper, like junk food and stuff you have to open up with wrappers and chips and sweets and stuff. To dig in more and find out more about that, if you're interested, consider watching the documentary The Game Changers. The Game Changers. It's on Netflix and YouTube. But the reason I recommend it is because it goes into the science of why this style of diet is a very good way to consider. So we looked at training, nutrition. Let's look at recovery. Over the last several years, I've had the honor of training 3 different neurologists, and one is a neuroradiologist, and they all know a lot about brain health and sleep. And on top of that, I've done a lot of research amongst people who really take sleep and longevity and health very seriously. And all that I've summarized to what all these people have in common is they recommend approximately 7.5 to 9 hours of sleep a night, with 2 hours of deep sleep and 2 hours of REM sleep. Now, how do we get a good night's sleep? A few things to consider. One is to wait at least 2 hours to not eating before bedtime. So if you go to bed at 8, be done eating at 6. First things to consider. +2, limiting or eliminating as best possible the blue light, like TVs, phones, stuff like that, tablets, 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. Darkening the house really good, making it very cool, and having established consistent sleep times and wake up times consistently, best you can. Now let's look at supplementation. There are basically, I feel, 2 different basic categories of supplementation. There are nutritional supplementation, and then there are enhancement performance supplementation. A nutritional supplementation is like a meal replacement shake, and I love them. They're so tasty. They're so wonderful and so delicious and so healthy. So you can make them taste a variety of ways. And there's no limits to fruit type flavors, to chocolate peanut butter, to chocolate, to banana, to whatever you like. There's lots of combinations. An enhancement performance supplement is like creatine monohydrate or creatine. There's different kinds of creatine these days. Matter of fact, I have it right here. One of them is the one I'm taking, and it's kind of a new version of it. It's alkaline. It's buffered creatine. It's alkaline powder. I guess that's probably a brand name. It's buffered creatine, but it's by True Athlete. There you go. You can see it better that way. I don't have an affiliate link for it, but I just wanted to share that with you. You can do your own research on it, but some interesting things on that. All right, so let's look at mindset. Now, as you're going along on your fitness journey, I feel like most of us, we're all experiencing resistance on this fitness journey. So I feel it's important to have a strong mindset. So imagine for a moment that we're trying to build a huge skyrise building, and we have one of those cranes out in front with the crane, and then it's got the box with the person pulling the levers. Well, imagine that box is like your mindset and that crane is like your body. Your mindset controls your body, not the other way around. So go forward, consider that as an option for you, that your mindset controls what happens to your body, not the other way around. So that means that you and your mindset decides what your body will do. Like, for example, next week, you have your workouts laid out. Say you're going to work out 5 days during the week. Well, you decide you're going to do that. No, there's nothing your mindset can say that's going to say, hey, I'm not going to talk you out of it. You're going for it. You have a strong mindset. You're going to achieve these goals. When it comes to mindset, I feel the affirmation / prayer is very important because it keeps you grounded in what's important to your ultimate goal and why you're doing this. So I'll rephrase it again here. I am happy and grateful now that I am. And then you state your body weight and your body fat percent. I am happy and grateful now that I am. Then you state your body weight and your body fat percent. Now, what does that do when we say that? I am happy and grateful now that I am, and you state your body weight and body fat percent goal. What we're doing is you're stating what you want, and you're stating it now like it's happened right now, and you're saying, oh, I'm so grateful right now that I've achieved this goal. You're just kind of visualizing in your mind that you've achieved this goal, and you're experiencing right in the moment. Many champions use this visualization technique to get them to win the biggest competitions of their lives. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was a very big-time Olympian in the 70s, and he would see himself up on the stage winning months before it ever happened. And we can use the same tool. You can use the same tool. So I encourage you to see yourself at your goal weight and state your affirmation / prayer. I am happy and grateful now that I am, your body weight and your body fat percent. And do that every day. And then back it up with your actions. Back it up with activity. We can't just use the mindset and have no action. You must take action to achieve fitness results. There's no way around it. So I encourage you to take action. Have a good established exercise program, whatever it is, right? Take action on your nutrition. Have a good plan, whatever it is. Take action on your recovery. You decide how you're going to do it, right? Take action on supplementation and take action on your mindset. Right? Now, one thing before I jump off, I do have a action. That's right, Jay. Actions speak louder than words. I have I have an app that I'm working on that I'm building. It's very new, so it doesn't have a lot of pre-workouts in it yet, but it's starting. It's going to have more and more. It's available on Android and iPhone. It's called Workouts for All. Workouts, the number 4, ALL, and it's going to have this logo that'll say it. Then underneath, it's Workouts, the number 4, All. It's a free app. It's going to have different workouts. They're going to have workouts for all. It does have some stuff in it now, like my nutrition resources. Jay, I have all the whole food plant-based, which is vegan, but I consider diet as more of a whole food plant-based. Vegan is more of our lifestyle for the animals. But I have all the whole food plant-based options in the resources in the app. So anybody wants free resources, download the app on the iPhone or Android. Look for Workouts for All, the number 4 All, and then download the app, set up a free account, and you can access the resources and get my nutrition for free. All right, that's it for now. My goal is to come at you here every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And one more thing before I go, one other thing that I do is I do virtual fitness programming. So with this app and us, I can program you a specific workout if that's something you want help for. I know Jay and I, not something you would need, you set your own programs, but some people want and need help with workout programming. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me, or anything to do with weight loss or fitness, going to the next level. I can assist you virtually on the phone, on the Zoom, however we choose to do it. Just message me the word FIT, F-I-T, to 520-400-9573. That's it for now. Remember that health is wealth. Without our health, what difference does it matter what earthly possessions we have? Our health is wealth, so consider taking care of it. Sticking to the basics, having a clear, specific goal, and backing it up with the 5 fundamentals of training, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, mindset. I'll be back. See you next time, Jay. Thanks for being here, brother. I'll see you later. Almost, yeah, in the morning. Good night. Good night to you, Jay, brother. Good night. Good night to all.